What are the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy? If you've been dealing with kind of unique, bizarre, undiagnosed symptoms, you may have been wondering if peripheral neuropathy may be part of your issue. If that sounds familiar, then you are in the right place because I'm here to answer that question in today's video, plus give you a proven solution so you can start feeling better right away. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause, Chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. Welcome back to my channel where I post videos every Monday and Wednesday to share with you the strategies that I've been using with my patients both here locally and via telehealth since 2005 to help you find the why behind your symptoms and your diagnosis. Once you find the why, you actually can then know how to heal and achieve optimal health, what I like to call total body mastery. So give that subscribe button a little love tap to help you stay up to date on all the latest behind closed doors methods and strategies that I have for you. And as always, there are timestamps right below this video because I value your time. You already know why you're here, so let's get to it. In this video, we're going to be going over the most common mistake you're unknowingly making. It's one people make often and you no longer need to. Then I'm going to be sharing with you what are the actual symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. Believe me, there's far more to it than just burning hands and feet. And finally, I will be sharing with you how to get a grip on your neuropathy without using prescription medications. Let's dive on in. So what's the most common mistake you're unknowingly making when it comes to peripheral neuropathy? It's really the assumption that all of neuropathy only shows up in your hands and your feet. Honestly, there's actually 3 different types of peripheral neuropathy, and depending on what nerves in your body are being affected, you're going to manifest symptoms very differently. The 3 types of peripheral neuropathy include 1, motor. These are the nerves that are responsible for creating movement, which would include, actions like walking, even talking, using your arms and your legs. The second type of neuropathy affects the sensory nerves. Sensory is going to alter those sensations of like hot versus cold, sharp versus dull. How things feel would be altered with a sensory type of neuropathy. And then the third type of neuropathy happens to affect the autonomic nerves in your body, which these control all of the things that you don't see or even think about. So this is like your breathing, your digestion, your heartbeat, and so on. So depending on what nerves and what system they're involved, your symptoms are going to manifest very differently. And how you're going to address each of these neuropathies is also different, which is the key and the challenge. Again, everybody assumes peripheral neuropathy is just the first one, the movement of the motor neurons, those being affected. And we're missing out on these altered sensations and then these other functions that we don't even think about that are happening in our body. Now, I'm super curious. Did you have any idea that there were 3 different types of neuropathy that you could actually be dealing with? Let me know your answers in the comments below. What are the actual symptoms associated with peripheral neuropathy? As I was just mentioning, since there's 3 different categories of neuropathy, the symptoms are all going to manifest differently. So let me share with you some of the symptoms you could expect with each system of neuropathy. So for the motor type of neuropathy, you could expect more of like muscle cramping, twitching, some of the muscle weakness, maybe even like lack of ability to move, almost like a paralysis, or like inability to pick your feet up off the ground, which medically they'd call that foot drop, okay? You can even get atrophy or muscle wasting with this type of neuropathy. Now, sensory neuropathy is probably the type of neuropathy that you're more familiar with. This is the classic, burning sensation. You could be experiencing pins and needles or actual numbness in whatever these nerves are that have been affected. You could either have alterations of your ability to detect hot versus cold and sharp versus dull types of sensation. With this one, you can also have a loss of balance and coordination because the nerves are what control that, and that's within the sensory system itself. Now, when it comes to autonomic, these types of symptoms are very different and can be also caused by so many other issues that it's not always the first thing to think of as a neuropathy type of an issue, but the symptoms with an autonomic nervous system involvement would include any of your digestive types of problems. So belching, bloating, constipation, diarrhea. It also can affect the heart. So we know like increased heartbeat or a faster heartbeat or even palpitations. You could even have some feelings of faintness or dizziness as a result of affecting the cardiovascular system. You may experience sweating profusely or maybe not sweating at all. This can also affect the reproductive organs, so there may be a decrease in libido or like the loss of function within that system. And you could even have some different bladder symptoms show up as well, like incontinence, inability to actually hold or even feel like you could empty the bladder completely. Now, before I get into how are you going to get a grip on your neuropathy without the use of prescription medications, I just want to remind you to click that subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and give me a big thumbs up while you're down there. I don't want you to miss out on a future episode because life is short and I believe we were meant to be here and live the highest quality of life possible. And it is so possible. You just need to know what to do to take back control of your health. So again, click the subscribe button, turn those notifications on, and let's get into how are we going to actually get a grip on your neuropathy without the use of prescription medications. The answer is the same, though what that means for each one of these different types of scenarios is very different. You have to find out why are these nerves being affected? Why are you having a peripheral neuropathy, whether it's in the motor, the sensory, or the autonomic system? How did that all happen in the first place? I mean, chances are you weren't born with the types of symptoms that you're experiencing right now. So something's changed about your health. What's wrong with your health that this is now what you're experiencing? Based off of what I know, symptoms are always your body's way to tell you that something is wrong. Even if they're incredibly common, that doesn't ever mean that they're normal. It's your body's telling you that something is not right here. It's like the check engine light that comes on. No. Be better about your body than we can be sometimes about our vehicles. Don't ignore it. You know, I know we turn the engine off and turn it back on and hope that those lights won't light up. But don't treat your body that way, okay? You only have one body to live in. We want to take the best care of it possible. Symptoms are always a sign that something is wrong. If all we do is give you something to take care of your symptoms, which would be a symptom-based care or symptom management, which is how prescription medications work. It's even how sometimes nutrition is being used. If that's all you're doing, you could be missing a bigger explanation as to why you ended up with a problem in the first place. See, when you symptom manage or you focus your solution on the symptom you're experiencing, it's the same thing as when you walk into a room and you see a stain on the ceiling and you just paint over the stain. Ta-da! Problem solved. Well, you and I both know that that stain, the problem is not solved. It just looks better. You have no awareness that there was a stain that was there. But eventually what happens? The stain comes back. Or maybe because whatever was behind the scenes creating that stain was allowed to get worse, now all of a sudden you've got your ceiling falling in on you. Okay? If all we do is manage symptoms, it's the same type of scenario that's going to happen with your health. New symptoms are going to show up because your body's still trying to tell you that there's a problem. Bigger, more complicated, more serious symptoms could actually manifest if you're ignoring your body. So we have to be able to do the same thing with your health like we do with the ceiling. Peel back the layers of the ceiling, figure out where the leak is actually occurring and take care of the leak. If we can go through your health and look at everything as a whole, you as a whole, and figure out what's not working right, what imbalances are there, what deficiencies are there, is there another issue underlying like a chronic infection or inflammation or toxins? Like there's so many different things. But the key in all of this is we have to look at you as a whole and evaluate you as a whole to figure out where the why is behind these neuropathy types of symptoms. Or maybe it's not neuropathy. Maybe you have a lot of these symptoms, but it's because of something else. If we don't look at you as a whole, we're never going to know how to ultimately get a grip on it. And prescription medications are just going to mask the symptoms. It's not fixing why you had it there in the first place. So if you're curious about how do you find the why and how do you look at you as a whole, don't worry, I've got you. All you need to do is go to the link in the description down below. It'll take you to my portal where I explain even more of this in depth. And I'm here always for you. So ask me your questions, share what your feedback is, what your experiences are I'm here to help as many people as I possibly can be able to take back control of their health and achieve total body mastery. I hope today's video was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you on a future episode, and God bless.